Hello, hello, welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and today we're on Coffee Break Crafting, and we are on part 3 of this mini little journal. Now, since you were here last, I've stitched round the picture and the fabric and the back. I've not done the front, and you'll see why in a minute, and I've added some hessian to the spine just to give it a little bit more substance. And the reason I've not stitched around the front is because I haven't yet put the front inlay in. Now I've done the back one and I'm going to do the front the same, and I have stitched the back one on, but obviously I couldn't do that until I'd stitched the front, so I stitched all of that at one time. So let me show you how I made this for the front. So I took 3, I've glued them too well, but 3 old book pages. I glued them all together and I cut a hole so that you could see, let me open it so you can see, so that you could see that lady. Okay, so basically what I did was I found, let me see, can you actually see that? Yes. I found a line of text, go down a bit further, there, and I just did a line across the middle, like that, through my 3 layers of book page. I then lined my ruler up and I came down away. I didn't measure it, I just cut away, yeah? And then we find the other end that's on the and. Now that looks to be too big. So I'm going to come back in okay, and line it up with the text again just to give me a straight line, and then I cut out the window. I then took this page of ladies. Now obviously if you're crafting along you can use whatever images. If you're doing a botanical one you could use an image of a bird, you see, and I just made sure that my hole was big enough to get that lady in. I'm actually going to go a little bit lower. So I'm going to come down 2 more lines of text. Yeah, if you're doing a botanical one, you could do a nice flower, or you could, you know, do a bird, or whatever is appropriate to the theme that you're wanting to follow. Simple as that, really. There you go, cut it a little bit bigger. I'm going to use this image here. This is the one I want to use, and I feel that's a better hole. So I'm just going to trim this out. Whoops, like that. Doesn't have to be precise because we are going to stick it on the back of these book pages. Okay, like that. Lovely. But before I do that, I want to decorate my frame, and I did that very quickly and easily with glue stick. Whoops, throwing things in my coffee now. Dress pattern paper, an old tea bag, brown packaging paper, and the small piece that we had left from the front cover. Okay, so I just glued all around the edge like that, made sure I had at least 2 pieces of tea bag. Going to put that one there. I'm going to put that one there. Actually, look, I can get 4 out of this. Gonna put that one there, and then I'm gonna put that one. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a fly in here. I don't know if you can hear that. And then I just glued down and went all the way round with various things. So a bit of dressmaker's fabric, paper. We're basically just making a collage. That's all we're doing. Okay. Making a collage with all these pieces to cover up the text that's on the back. Doesn't get much easier than that. It really doesn't. Okay, and that one, and then these pieces I just flipped it over and bent these back like that. Okay, I didn't worry too much about gluing them. If they won't stay, then obviously just stick a little bit of glue on and stick them down. Okay. Now you can actually glue your picture on. Now you've done that piece round the actual frame hole, yeah, now you can do this piece. So then I just glued around the edge, put that down, line this up to where you want it, and whoops, press it home. Okay, turned it over and pressed it down. There you go. And that's how I made that frame. And then I just carried on sticking bits on until I was happy with how it looked. Does help if you just get straight edges towards the frame. And then I tore this down and we'll put a piece of that there. And I just kept going basically. Until, as I say, it was basically the size that I wanted it to be. So yeah, just fun bit of collage. And yet, look at the effect. I just think that's absolutely beautiful. And then once you've got that black grungy stitching on it as well, it just really comes to life. The only thing I tried not to do was put brown next to brown, if you know what I mean. So like here, get rid of that pattern paper there. See, now I don't like that because that is a straight line, so I'm going to peel that off and turn it round that way. That's fine. Okay, with a bit more of the tissue paper. You can see, you know, there is some words that you can see. So put some of this on, come round, have a bit more of this. And as I say, just keep going until it's full up, until you're happy with how it looks. And this piece of pattern paper has got these lovely lines on, so that's going to be very nice. And put that on there. Obviously you do get a little bit stuck up, but it will come good. And then if I had to put two pieces together, I tried to make sure, you know, that they were light and dark. They didn't necessarily look the same. So we'll put that on there. We'll have more of the pattern up here. Pattern paper. Like that. And then maybe we can find some more of this really light piece of the digital. That's a nice piece there, isn't it? And although this is going on purple, it does obviously dry clear, so that's going to be fine. We have a piece more of this packing paper up this end. Like so. Right, now I figure that that's about where we need to be. So I remember that I definitely cut a piece off the side. So let's measure it properly, Claire, before you guesstimate and have a problem. Now this measures 6, and we know that our square is 5.5. So if we go to 5 3/4 this side, and we take a quarter off of this side, that's going to give us the width that we need. So line that up and cut that off like so. Turn it round, line it up and cut the other side off. For some reason that piece doesn't want to disconnect. Okay, now I seem to remember that when I did this one, yeah, I did like 1.5 inches ish either side of the picture. So if I go 1.5 inches there, we know that we want to cut there, and then if I line that there, we need to come down 5.5, which is there. Okay, so line it up with our ruler, cut that piece off, get rid of that. I went lower than I needed to, but I can keep that and use that for something else. Line this up, and trim across there. And this is, now I need to put a little bit of glue under there. I obviously didn't get glue just there, so I'll just stick that down, and there's a little bit there as well, I can see, so we'll just put a little bit of glue down there. Okay, now we'll get rid of our sticky board. We're bringing our cover, and we line that up. That should fit all but perfectly on there. Now you see on the back one, she's in the middle, and this one, she's off to one side. Doesn't bother me at all. I like that. I did actually have in my mind originally that it would be an idea to put her in a different position. I had forgotten that actually when I started. Glue it down. Bring her in. Pop her onto your cover. And I left it for a good 24 hours for all that glue to set, and then I came along and I just stitched around it. So that is our cover now, completely finished. So when we come back next week, we can start looking at making our pages. So as always, a huge thank you for coming along and joining me. I hope you found joy and inspiration, and even if you're not doing grungy ladies, you're thinking about crafting along in your own theme. Stay safe, I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.